Well, one stock of the day today is definitely IDFC FIRST Bank. The lender has jumped back to profit in Q1 following lower provisions and improvement when it comes to the net interest income as well. My colleague Ajay Sharma caught up with Vaidyanathan, the MD and CEO of the bank, and first asked about whether the legacy issues have been resolved or not. Listen in to what he had to tell us.
All legacy issues are settled, so there's nothing like, a bad corporate loan or a infrastructure loan, etc. All that is all sorted, and you will see that in the next few quarters we will live up to that comment. But more importantly, it's not about those things. It's about what we built on the strength of the basic platform. The length of platform is very strong. Our return on assets has crossed to 1%, which I think is a very landmark moment. And the fact it's coming from a zero base up to 1% should tell you something about the trajectory.
Fair point. Mr. Vaidyanathan, when we used to speak to a lot of institutional shareholders of yours, one always got a sense they were very happy with the quality of management, the efforts being taken, everything, all the ingredients were being put, but numbers were not really coming, all of that was not getting reflected. This is one quarter where everybody is sitting up and taking notice of the numbers. What would you tell, that side of the market, that have the numbers started coming in, and now this kind of performance will actually move on? Is it sustainable? What are your thoughts there?
I understand the concern, but even during these 3 years, I think the fundamental building blocks are coming very strong. It's not a joke that we were 10% CASA 3 years ago, we have 50% CASA now. And mind you, last year we dropped interest rate, but still our CASA stayed at 50%. Which means there's something sticky, built a really good brand. People think well about our organization in terms of corporate governance, which I truly believe is very important. So there are many things that have come right for the bank. Even operating profit of the bank, 3 years ago was 270 crores per quarter. Now operating profit is touching 1,000 crores a quarter. So something fundamentally has strengthened in the bank. What was this was of course not showing up in the profit line until now, but we have demonstrated this quarter what we are capable of, and all I can say is that to watch out next 3 quarters. Even if you're a disbeliever, you'll become a believer.
That's correct, Mr. Vaidyanathan. Okay, so again, as a representative or a reflection of what the market wants to know, I would like to understand from you two-prong approach: the short-term aim, focus, priorities, and the long-term, because after all, market is a discounting machine for the future. What would you tell people who are listening to us, our conversation, after posting this kind of a number, the short-term aim and roadmap, and the long-term direction which you're taking?
Okay, let me take them one by one. Let me just talk short-term for a brief moment. I started the conversation by saying, look at the trajectory, or rather you started it. If you see the trend on operating profit for the last 4 quarters, I think it's been going up very, very strongly, like I said, nudging 1,000 crores. You should expect to continue to see this rise every quarter from here on. Secondly, on the credit cost front, you should expect us to be very stable from here on. Like I said, there's no large account to now provide for. So then it's less business as usual. So you should continue to see very benign numbers. In fact, this quarter's credit loss is only 0.9%, which I think is very low. And you should expect this to stay like this for a few quarters. So therefore, in the short run, you should expect that the bank's profit should increase from here for the next maybe 3 or 4 quarters since you asked for a short run. And it should expand meaningfully, I should say. In the longer run, frankly, I think this game has just started. Like they say, picture movie, we start to hear. I think picture just started, and think of Infosys. If 20 years ago, when Infosys was maybe 20,000 employees, if someone had told you at Infosys saying that, listen, in 2020 we'll be 22 we'll be hiring 20,000 employees a month, would you have believed them? Guess not. So like that, I'm telling you today, in the long run, this bank is headed for to be a compounding, machine, and on the loan book and on the deposits and on the profits. That's my belief.
Right, Mr. Vaidyanathan, this is a very nice headline. Picture abhi baki nahi hai, picture abhi shuru hui hai IDFC Bank pe. We'll talk a little more about it, but just a quick follow-up on credit quality. Your provisions have also fallen quite smartly this quarter. How are things looking on the credit quality front from here on? Any challenges you foresee, or things have improved very drastically because of which provisioning has also fallen?
See, first of all, I think for the whole Indian system, of course, credit quality is getting better because, structurally there is credit bureaus and all that, and data and cash flow and all that. But specifically for our bank, I can safely assure you that, we've had a 10-year track record, and it's not, it's just not this quarter. So we've had a long track record of having NPA of 2% gross and 1% net on the retail side. I'm happy to see it's come back to 2% gross and 1% net this quarter. So the short answer is we expect this to sustain. And the reason is also not just because we've done it before. The reason I'll tell you, the reason is we track the input parameters that lead to the NPA. So we track, for example, what's the quality of underwriting, what is the quality of check bounce. Then we call it, we check SMA. Now, SMA is really the all-time low for the banks. If there's no SMA, where is NPA?
Fair point. Let's talk about ROA front, because your ROA crossing 1% is a landmark, as you just said. But what are the steps you're taking to expand it further from here on? And also, how much time could that take in further improvement?
Short answer is that you will see it improving every quarter from here on, because the one good thing about our bank is there is nothing one time about our profits. So in fact, last quarter there's no treasury profits also. So you can think of it like a core income. So we think that we should expect that it should rise every quarter from here. Let me just say that our bank is fundamentally structured to reach a 2% return on assets. That probably I should call it the next landmark moment, but I'm pretty sure we're heading in that direction.
Okay, so that's the word coming in from IDFC FIRST Bank. That stock sitting with a gain of around 12%, but that's not alone. We have Metro Brands, which is also reacting